Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Thursday. Today I have my Chanel All-Stars. I did my Louis Vuitton All-Stars about 2 months ago, and in that video I asked if this is something that you would be interested in seeing, and a lot of you said yes, so thank you for that, and my apologies that it's taken this long to film. But the reason why I wanted to talk about All-Stars is because oftentimes I talk about bags that didn't end up working out for my lifestyle, bags that I ended up selling, or sometimes I just talk about monthly favorites. But the items that I'm about to show you, I feel that these items outperform anything else in my Chanel collection. I constantly gravitate towards them, and I foresee myself keeping these bags for many, many years, if not for forever. So I thought I'd give you a little bit more feedback as to why these specific items are in my collection. And I will have to say that when it comes to Chanel, I have not been purchasing them as long as I have Louis Vuitton. If you've been watching my channel since the beginning, I did discuss that I did have a few Chanel bags a few years back, but I ended up selling them because I was so paranoid. I didn't want to use them. But when it came down to starting my collection again, I took forever to decide on the bags or the items that I wanted to add to my collection. And really that's because of the price point that Chanel has. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to lose any money just in case I decided to resell them, or what if they didn't end up working out either. So I took my time, I did a ton of research, and while I do love every single piece in my collection, these specific ones just end up outperforming any of the other items. And it won't be a surprise that some of the ones that I'm going to share are ones that, again, that I talk about on my favorites video often. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into categories, kind of like what I did with the Louis Vuitton one, and hopefully it ends up working out. But I just want to give you a little bit of insight as to why these items are, are what I consider my all-stars. So let's get started. When it comes to totes, my all-star is the GST, or the Grand Shopping Tote in the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. I absolutely love this bag. I've had it for 3 years now, I believe, and from the day that I purchased it till now, it still makes me grin from ear to ear. I constantly use it, and I just like the overall silhouette that it has. It's very simple. It doesn't have too many bells and whistles. Some people might think that the double CC logo is a little gaudy because it's quite large, but it's actually one of the characteristics that I love about it the most. And it's just, I don't know, it's one of those bags that you can just throw on. You don't have to think about it too much. It's not too heavy, and it's very carefree because of the caviar leather. And I really like the details that it has inside. Again, it doesn't have too much going on, but it's just the right amount. So it does have the zippered compartment in the middle that makes it really easy to hide some of your items if you needed to. It has one slip pocket, one zippered pocket. It also has a big pocket on the back side. I don't really use it to be honest, but overall this bag is not cumbersome, and it's just one of those that when sometimes I'm thinking about which bag to use, I just go for it because it can go with anything. Very, very easy to dress up and dress down, and it's just one of those bags that's you don't have to think about too much. So that is definitely why it is my all-star. Now I also have this bag in the beige clair with the silver hardware. Between the two, I definitely prefer the black and gold combination. Like I said before, it's something that I'm attracted to as far as this particular combination. Now when it comes to the beige clair, I've really thought hard about whether or not it's going to stay in my collection. It's not because I don't like the size of it. I don't like the silhouette. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. But when it comes to the beige caviar leather, it is a little more carefree than lambskin. But at the same time, I end up just using it during the spring and summer. I'm very cautious. I'm very, I think twice about what I'm wearing whenever I go to use it. And I have to make sure that I'm using lighter colors. And in my mind, bags for me, while I do want to take care of them, there's a difference between taking care of them and kind of putting them in this bubble. And it kind of takes the joy out of it when I have to be that careful about what I'm wearing. So again, between the two, it's definitely the black and gold combination with the caviar leather. Very, very, just a great all-around tote. So if you are looking for a tote from Chanel, these have since been discontinued, but they are just such great bags, and I feel that for me and my lifestyle, it definitely ends up working out. So the GST in the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. When it comes to crossbody, my all-star is the wallet on chain with the black caviar leather and the gold hardware. This is such a great piece from the fashion house. If I was to recommend like a first starter handbag, I would definitely have to say the wallet on chain, just because it gives you, it's a very versatile item, plus you can really get a feel for the brand. And I've said it before in many other videos that this is by far one of the best purchases that I have ever made from the fashion house as far as introducing me into the handbag. And you know, like I said, I've had it for a few years now, and I think it still looks in great condition. I have used it so many times. Most recently our trip to London, and I think there's a few different aspects about this bag that I love about it the most. Number one, it's very easy to transition from day to night. So let's say during the day you're using it as a crossbody bag, because it does have this beautiful chain. It's not too heavy, and let me just show you the details there. So during the day you can use this crossbody, and let's say at night you're going out to dinner, you don't want to have to switch out your handbag. You just kind of pop the chain inside, and then you can use it as a little clutch. You can also kind of put the chain around and use it as a little mini handbag. There's just so many ways that you can use this. And another aspect about it that I really love is the fact that it does have the built-in credit card slots. So when it comes to something this small, you definitely have to go compact, but because you have the credit card slots, you don't have to worry about having to use a wallet. That way you can maximize your space, and you can use other items in here if need be. Another detail that not too many people talk about is the fact that this little pocket here, kind of like on the classic flaps, have this, but it's a little bit smaller, but this pocket actually goes all the way down to the backside of the wallet on chain. So it makes it very easy to hide larger bills if you needed to, or any other paperwork. That is actually something that I ended up doing when we were in London. I had a couple larger pounds that I had in here, and I ended up hiding them on the backside just because I didn't want to open it up and just see, you know, the money that I was carrying with me. So it's just a phenomenal piece. I cannot rave about it enough. And I just love, again, the combination of the black and gold. And you know, I do have this also in the red and silver, but between the two, my heart still belongs to the black and gold. Very carefree. I don't have to worry too much about color transfer on this one because of the color. It's not as light as the beige Claire. But I don't know, you know, even though I love red and I talk about it constantly on my channel, I just always end up going for black bags. It's just something that, you know, it's just a classic piece. And when it comes to classics, I tend to just stick to colors that are very neutral, that can go with anything I wear in my wardrobe. Although a red I know is considered a neutral, but out of the two, I prefer the black. So there we go. Like I said, I've had it for many years, and you can definitely see the wear there. I have not babied this. I've thoroughly enjoyed this bag. So the Chanel wallet on chain on the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. When it comes to classics, many of you know that my holy grail is my jumbo double flap in the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. It is sitting up on that shelf right over there. I had been wanting that bag for so many years. I had always dreamed about adding it to my collection. And a few years back, I had the opportunity to do just that. And it made me, it was such an exhilarating experience when I was able to purchase it, and it made me so incredibly happy. And even though I love that bag, and even though I do use it from time to time, when it comes to all-stars, when it comes to bags that, again, outperform any other handbag in my Chanel collection, it is definitely the medium large in the black caviar leather with the silver hardware. So like I said before, I tend to prefer the gold hardware, but in this particular size, I really liked it in the silver with the black caviar leather. I really wanted to add variety to my collection because I already had the jumbo in the gold hardware. So I stuck to the black caviar, but again, the hardware just, it's a subtle difference, but it kind of makes a world of difference, if that makes any sense. But this bag, the reason why it's my all-star, not only have I talked about it, forever in a day. I've talked about it, so many monthly favorites, but I seem to I mean, more than any other bag, constantly gravitate towards this specific one. I use it, I mean, like I said before, more than any other handbag in my collection at this point. And one of the things I love about it the most is how incredibly lightweight this bag is. Usually with the jumbo, like I said before, I do love it. It is a little bit heavier, so it doesn't bother me, but it is to the point where I can feel the weight after so many hours. But when it comes to the medium large, I don't feel anything at all. It is just it is so user friendly when it comes to this size. And even though you have to go a little bit more compact because it doesn't fit as much as the jumbo does, it still has quite a bit of space. So I end up using a smaller wallet. I end up using either a smaller toiletry or a smaller cosmetic case. And I just have a few other, you know, odds and ends that I end up using, and that's it for me. I am able to carry my essentials with me. And another thing that I really like about it is how versatile it is. So you can end up using it, hang on, give me just a second. You can end up using it double strapped like this, or you can end up pulling it over and using it on one chain. There we go. That's actually how I prefer to use it. And when I put it on my shoulder, I don't even feel it. It doesn't dig in. It's just, it is such a great bag. And you can also hide the chain and use it somewhat of a clutch. I've seen a few people do that. I have never actually ended up doing that, but that's just another way that you can end up using it. And you know, when it comes to the double flap, the reason why I end up preferring it the most is because I feel that it keeps its structure the best. And many of you know that this is all personal preference. Many of you know that I tend to prefer structured handbags. I can appreciate a slouchy bag, but for me and my lifestyle and what ends up suiting me, I prefer the structured bag. And I do often get asked which one I would recommend between the medium large or the jumbo. And it's definitely all a matter of personal preference. Whichever one makes your heart sing the loudest. Like I said before, I always wanted the jumbo. That was just the one that I constantly just, I wanted to add to my collection. And then when I had it, I still love it. But then I found the medium large and it just ends up working out for my lifestyle the best. So again, it's all a matter of personal preference, you know, and I just feel that because of this bag and because I enjoy it so much, it has really solidified the fact that I want to add another medium large to my collection. I might end up even going for lambskin because I have had great success with lambskin. But you know, I love the size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just right in the middle. It's the perfect size in my opinion. But to each their own. But this is definitely my all-star for the classic flaps. The medium large and the black caviar leather with the silver hardware. As far as everyday wallets go, my all-star is the zipped wallet in the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. The reason why this is my all-star is because of a few different reasons. Number one, I love the fact that it does have the zippered closure, so it really gives me that security. That way, if I'm running errands with just this, or if I'm throwing it in my purse, I don't have to worry that everything's kind of out in the open. It keeps it all in one spot. And even though I don't tend to carry too many cards with me, if anything, I have a few credit cards, my driver's license, and insurance, and all those other items, but it fits everything that I need for my wallet essentials. So if I was to pack this baby full, I would still end up having a little bit of room left over, and it can also double as a clutch because of its size. My phone fits in here oh so perfectly. I have the iPhone 6s, so I'm able to get away with it being used as a clutch as well. So it is a little bit more versatile, but again, it's just a great wallet. It has a smooth zipper, and it fits everything that I need. There are a few different sizes when it comes to, there's like a large zip wallet, small zip wallet. When it comes to Chanel, they seem to have the same name for different styles, but the zipped wallet is right in the middle, and I really just love this. It opens up perfectly, and it just gives you just the right amount of space for all of your items. So I do find myself gravitating towards this all the time whenever I do need a full-size wallet. So the zipped wallet in the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. Now for going compact, the item that I'm about to show you is not going to be a surprise. I have talked about it in various videos, not specifically this color, but this combination is actually my all-time favorite. And that is the O-Zip coin purse in the Caviar Fuchsia with the light gold hardware. Now this small leather good from the fashion house has exceeded my expectations in every single possible way. I am so crazy about it that I also have it in 3 other colors. This is the last color that I ended up picking up, and it is definitely my favorite because of the combination. It is the perfect pop of color that I need, and the light gold hardware, the champagne gold hardware, just really adds to the overall appeal in my opinion. But the reason why this is my all-star is because even though I do appreciate a larger wallet where I can fit all of my items, this little guy might look like it's super small, you can't fit anything, but I am able to fit the exact same amount that I can fit into the large zipped wallet into this. I am not even joking. I have done videos on it, and I am able to fit absolutely everything I need from here into here because it also has the zippered closure, so it gives you again that security, well, the one that I look for. And it has a few little compartments there. So it has 3 compartments, but it ends up just opening up again, kind of like the wallet does, perfectly. And the greatest thing about this small leather good for using it as a wallet is the fact that you can go into any of your smaller handbags with ease. So if you do have a mini rectangular, this also fits on the wallet on chain. If you just absolutely have to have more cards with you, if you were to use the wallet on chain with it, but it fits everything. And like I said, I talked about it in my recent favorites video, and I'll make sure and put it at the end of this video if you wanted to check it out. But they have held up so incredibly well. The first one that I got was the chevron red with the silver hardware. This is the red caviar. Then I purchased the black caviar with the gold hardware. Then it was this guy here, the gray lambskin with the ruthenium hardware, and then onto this one. But like I said before, out of the 4 that I have, it's definitely this one because of the pop of color, and again because of how incredibly much you can fit into this O-zip coin purse. And it has a very friendly price tag in my opinion for as much as you can utilize this item in many different handbags. So it has paid for itself many times over, and I'm crazy about it. So that is why it is my compact card holder, all-star, if you will, from Chanel. So the O-zip coin purse in the boy collection with the caviar fuchsia leather and the light gold hardware. For miscellaneous items, there is one that I wanted to share, and that is the O case. This is a small O case in the red lambskin with the silver hardware. That's the front of it, and then there's the back side, and on the inside it just has this material. So it doesn't have leather, but it has the leather gussets on the sides. Okay, so the reason why this particular item is my all-star is because this really was the gateway to making me appreciate lambskin that much more. In the past I had always talked about lambskin. Even on my channel I said that it was way too delicate. It scratches way too easily. It doesn't end up working for my lifestyle. But I ended up taking a chance, and I added this O case to my collection. And it is, like I said before, it is the red lambskin, and I just fell in love with the way that the leather wears. I have used this, I think I've had it for a few months, no, more than a few months, almost a year now, and check it out. It has worn so incredibly well. I think it has a few little wear marks on the corner, but I promised myself when I got this item that I wasn't going to baby it. I wasn't going to put it in this bubble. I was going to enjoy it, and that is exactly what I have done. I use it mostly for cosmetics, like to carry my powder and my hand sanitizer, my eye drops, and a few other items. Sometimes I've used it as a catch-all. Sometimes I've used it as a very small clutch. So it is very versatile. But this O case actually fits a lot more than you would think because it does have the gussets that are leather. It ends up having a little bit more give. So I sometimes end up stuffing it a little bit more than I should, but it still has held up incredibly well. There are no dents. There are no lumps and bumps. There are no scratches, nothing like that. And it made me so happy that I didn't baby the lambskin, and that is the reason why I have a lambskin bag in my collection because I loved the way that this ended up wearing, and I took a chance again with a few other small leather goods. But this one in specific just really takes the cake as far as just a miscellaneous small leather good from the fashion house that exceeded my expectations that I constantly use. So the Chanel O case, the small size in the red lambskin leather with the silver hardware. For shoes, I was originally going to talk about one pair, but I wanted to share another one because I have found myself really loving them. And again, it's one of those things that once you use it for some time, you just know that it's going to work out for you for many years. Now, unfortunately, with shoes or with footwear, it's not something that I can say, oh, I've had it for 20 years. You know, if you had shoes that are 20 years old, then that's awesome. But these pairs, I feel that hopefully one of them is still available in a few years. I feel that I will end up repurchasing them over and over again just because I like them that much. The first one are the Chanel espadrilles in the black lambskin, the all black. So these will definitely not be a surprise. Many of you know that I am a very casual dresser, so I tend to prefer espadrilles. I do have a few others in my collection, but these I just, you know, I don't have to think about them, and I haven't really scuffed them up as I thought I would because they're lambskin. I actually have one little tear there, if you can see it. But I've had them for about, I think, a year and a half, but I have used them to death. I mean, you can tell by by the backside how dirty they are. And I still feel that I mean, look at the sole. They don't look too bad. They're not too worn in. And they just feel incredibly comfortable. When it comes to lambskin espadrilles, they are very easy to break in because of the leather. It gives you a little bit of give. But I just, you know, it just suits my lifestyle very well because, again, I'm such a casual dresser. And you can't go wrong with black. Black goes with everything. So I would have to say that the espadrilles in the black lambskin leather for one of my shoe all-stars. The other pair of shoes is newer to my collection, but kind of like what I said before, it's just one of those things that once you put them on, you just have a feeling that you are going to use them for many years or many months, and that is the Chanel ballerina flats in the black patent cap toe with the black lambskin. Now this pair of shoes, let me just show you the bottom. I've been using them quite a bit. They do have a little bit of wear. I really love the fact that once you start to get a little bit more wear, you can take them into the boutique and have them resold if you wanted to. So that way they can end up lasting a little bit longer. But I think the reason why I consider these my all-stars is because they are so versatile. So whether you want to dress them up or dress them down, you can do that. And they end up suiting really any lifestyle, whether you're a casual dresser like myself, or whether you end up preferring to dress up, these end up just working out for any lifestyle, like I said. And, you know, much to my surprise, they ended up breaking in very quickly. I thought that it was going to be a little bit more of a hassle. When I first put them on months ago, I remember that I thought that they were going to be too tight on my toes, and it was just going to be one of those shoes that everyone else ended up rocking, and that I loved from afar, but maybe wouldn't end up working out for me. But I am happy to say that they took little to no time to break in. I was very surprised. Like I said, it took all of maybe 10 minutes to break them in. I'm not trying to exaggerate. I'm being honest as far as my experience with them. I ended up putting a thicker sock with them, and within those 10 minutes they were perfect. I was able to use them for 8 hours after the 5 minutes of breaking them in. So to me, that surprised me. That caught me off guard because I was expecting it to happen, you know, over a few hours, or if not, maybe over a few days. But regardless, I'm getting sidetracked as always, but I just love how simple they are. And, you know, it's just, I feel that they can go with any lifestyle. As I said before, they can go with jeans. You can dress them up, you can dress them down. Very easy to transition from day to night with ease as well. So that's why I consider these all-stars, because they're very classic and they're very timeless. And it's kind of like the classic flap, you know, it's one of those things that goes with absolutely anything that you wear. So the Chanel ballerina flats in the black patent cap toe with the black lambskin. So I'm sure you noticed by now that throughout my entire Chanel collection, for the most part, as far as my All-Stars go, most of the items are black leather, or they're black caviar leather with gold hardware. And the reason why I end up sticking with black is because even though I would like to consider myself to be a little bit more adventurous when it comes to handbags, I would love to add, you know, so many different pops of color. I end up liking colors from afar, and I appreciate the colors, but it just doesn't end up working out for my lifestyle. With a black bag, it's just one of those things that goes with absolutely any outfit. It goes with anything. I don't have to think twice about it. And I really try to be a little bit more adventurous when it comes to small leather goods. That way, when I open up the handbag, I see those pops of color, and it just kind of makes me grin from ear to ear, because it's not just, I don't have all black small leather goods. I don't have, you know, just a black handbag. It's not all black. I do have some color in my collection, you know, but like I said before, I do appreciate colored bags. It's just something that I think I've come to terms with that is not for me. And, you know, that might change down the line, but as of right now, like I said before, these items are the ones that I consider my all-stars. I consider them to be part of my collection for many years, if not for forever. And I sincerely hope that this video was able to help and give you a little bit more insight as to why I have kept these around. And, like I said, some of these are a little bit newer, but when you know, you know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if there is something that I haven't done a review on the items that I showed you, I'll be more than happy to do that. Just let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.